Yo, 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 what is going on, my beautiful brothers and sisters, fellow radiators of love? My name is Jamal Pope, aka J Fenixx, and this is going to be your astrology forecast for Friday, July 7th of 2023. So, it's an interesting day looking at this. I was looking at this chart a lot last night. I didn't make the video last night, and I'm kind of glad that I did. I slept on it, and woke up with kind of like a new understanding of the day. Overall, I will say that today's going to be rather positive as far as like the energies that are happening, the aspects that are coming up. There's not a whole lot going on as far as like major exact aspects today. We have some building energy, of course, but overall, it's going to be a rather positive day. The interesting thing about this is that sometimes as humans, we like to complicate things. And like we'll take something that's supposed to be simple and beautiful and try and poke holes in it. So there's definitely an element to today, I feel like, where we might try and poke holes in the argument that the universe is not even an argument, but we're trying to like poke holes in the beautiful image or the beautiful thing that the universe is trying to present us. So definitely, it can potentially be. It's like very Four of Cups kind of energy. Just like, but I haven't even drawn a card, but that's just kind of the energy I kind of give with today. It's Four of Cups mixed with like Star card mixed with like freaking uh I wouldn't even say Four of Wands. I'd say like Six of Wands kind of energy. It's very like nice and harmonious energy too. Now let's hop into it. And actually, just so I can actually like show you what I'm talking about. Well, we do have the moon that starts the day in Pisces, 10 degrees, and it's going to make this nice little sextile over to Jupiter. So yeah, the moon definitely wanting to feel of course, with it being a Pisces, is a very dreamy like energy, very fantasy like. And then of course the sextile into Jupiter, that's some nice reception too, because Jupiter is a traditional ruler of Pisces, and the moon is exalted in Taurus, so we get some mutual reception here. So they're on the same page in many ways, wanting to bring forth a dream, wanting to bring forth a vision, and to really fill this thing out. Now, of course, what's going to do is that it's going to require some work and some effort. It's not going to happen overnight, but the dream is there. This is kind of like it's an opportunity. So it's like laying like an emotional, like some emotional groundwork, some framework for this dream, if you will. Being that it's at 10 degrees too. It reduces down to one, so which is about the sun. So this comes back to being just being you and shining your light and just being authentically you regardless and all the time. That's the thing about it. Like the sun always shines. It doesn't really care what's trying to block its shine. It's going to continue to shine and continue to do its thing, right? So we start off the day with that energy. Nice, right? Well, as you move this moon forward, we are going to get to the trine with the sun, right? So the moon and the sun are going to trine here at 15 degrees. So the sun is now halfway through Cancer. You remember what I said? Cancer is going to be like the sort of calm before the storm, if you will, right? So we got this moon here that's going to be making this beautiful trine at 15 degrees. You know, this is this is very nice. It's a very harmonious energy. Now, there's something I want to kind of bring your attention to, and then I'll come back to my interpretation of this trine. We don't really have a lot of air energy. And if you just pay attention to like the major planets, the major celestial bodies that we track, we don't have really any air energy, right? Now, when it comes to fire, what do we have? We have Venus and Mars, and we have Chiron. That's it. Now, when it comes to Earth, what do we have? Well, we have Pluto, we have Uranus, we have Jupiter, we have the North Node. When it comes to water, what do we have? Well, we have Saturn, we have the Moon, we have Neptune, we have the Sun, we have Mercury, and we have the South Node. What about air? There's, what about air? There's no major planets in air. We have some asteroids. We have Vesta. We have Ceres. That's it. That's it. That's all we have. We have no Aquarius energy, right? So that's the thing about this, is that we are literally going with just water, earth, and fire right now. So if you try to if you're trying to like logically make sense of things right now, you're not going to have a good time. If you try to like logic your way to a solution, it's not going to quite work. This is going to require action. It's going to require us to know our value, and it's going to require intuition. That's the other thing about this too. You have the moon here that's going to be in between Neptune and Saturn today, two planets, two outer planets that are retrograde, trying to make sense of this watery world and trying to feel its way through this, right? The good thing is though is that it does, like I said, it does make the sextile over to Jupiter to start off with, right? And then it'll trine over to the sun. So while it's in between this weird space, if you will, while it's in between this weird space, it makes these harmonious aspects to try and figure this thing out. Now, this trine between Pisces and the sun and Cancer, you know, this is going to be an element where it's like, yeah, our intuition can be like really heightened right now. Also, whenever the moon goes into Pisces, the veil between this realm and the other realms is a lot thinner. It's a lot thinner. So it's a time where we really can receive the answers that we're looking for potentially, or receive some sort of guidance from our guides, from loved ones who have passed on. It's especially with Mercury here, and the moon's going to try Mercury not today, but it'll try it tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? There's definitely this element where we can, you know, reach out to those spaces, that are unseen or otherworldly, and we can receive some type of, message from these areas. But it does require us to first really believe that we can do so. That's what the sextile with Jupiter is. Like, do you believe that you can connect with these realms? Do you believe in a higher power? Do you believe that there is something that's orchestrating all of this, right? That goes beyond our human logic, our human understanding of things. There's no air energy right now. There's no air energy right now. So that's the thing about this. And it's funny too, because like I think about my own chart and I do have some air. I just don't have a lot of air. I don't have any Gemini, right? I have Venus in Libra, and then I have Saturn in Aquarius, like right at the beginning of Aquarius. But I am mostly like water and earth on mine. So a chart like this actually feels a little bit more, at home for me, just because I'm used to not having all the like air and stuff like that. And that's the funny thing about it. It's not that I'm not a logical person. It's just that I have a tendency to run off of intuition and inspiration, which can be a double-edged sword. Sometimes it can make for a very naive kind of energy, but sometimes it also can make for just like, I don't know. It can make for just having like synchronicity after synchronicity and just kind of just flowing. This is an energy where it can be this is a very flowing kind of energy. I would say that, especially with all this water energy, especially even I would say even with the fire energy too. And I think with a day like today, we're going to really be relying on this moon and the aspects that it makes to Jupiter and to the sun. Because when it comes to the fire energy, yes, we're wanting to move things forward. Yes, we're wanting to express and be creative. Yes, we are wanting to like love. I think a lot of us are wanting to love again. I think that's what the whole Mars and Venus aspect, this whole weird dance that they're doing. Now, of course, except they're not going to meet up until next year in Aquarius, and they're already starting to separate. So this is why some people like when these energies came together initially, you could sense that there was like this little bit of a spark, and some people was like, "Oh, maybe love is possible. Maybe love is real." You know what I'm saying? Maybe there's something to this. And now that they're starting to separate, you can feel just subtly that people's like expectations are starting to fray a little bit. You know what I mean? When it comes to this, I think there's a lot has to do with the fact that these energies are beginning to quincunx over to Pluto. It's not going to be exact today, but Mars is beginning the quincunx over to Pluto, which is going to throw an awkward wrench into the whole mix, right? Because Pluto here is talking about standards, it's talking about pretty much how far society has come to this point, being that's 29 degrees, right? So this is definitely going to be like with Mars wanting to express itself a certain way, wanting to act a certain way. Oh, wait a minute, though. What does society at large say? Can you do that sort of thing? Are you allowed to do that sort of thing? Are you allowed to express yourself that sort of way? Will you receive any pushback? Will people accept you too? I think that's the whole thing with the Venus thing. Is that we want people to accept us and to receive us, but not everyone's going to accept and receive us. And we have to learn to be okay with that. We have to learn to be okay with not everyone's going to like us, not everyone's going to love us, not everyone's going to get us, right? But we have to be able to find the beauty in this and find those groups of people that do embrace us and do accept us. And things are shifting and things are moving, guys. They really are. So it's like we have this harmonious energy today. We don't have a lot of intense aspects. We have a lot of building energy. I would say the most intense aspect of the day that's building up will be Mars making the quincunx over to Pluto, which will happen tomorrow, right? That's like the major thing. And we do have Mercury, which is getting ready to oppose Pluto in a couple days as well. So we do have some things kind of percolating in the background. But as far as today, it's mostly positive. Moon sextile Jupiter, Moon trine the Sun, and the Sun, of course, is on its way to sextiling Uranus as well. So not a lot of crazy stuff going on. Now, I think when it comes to days like this, like I said, we have a tendency to overcomplicate things and to take something that may be simple and beautiful and try and rearrange things and try and oh, maybe it'd be better if I throw this at it and throw this at it. And then it's it's like you're you're doing a painting on a canvas, right? And you start off and you paint like this beautiful landscape, or maybe it doesn't have to be like a whole landscape. Maybe you just paint like a flower. Maybe you do like one of those basic drawings. Hold on, I'm gonna just do the basic drawing real fast for you guys. The one, if you're a millennial, we all did this freaking drawing right here. We all did this drawing right here, right? You have like this. And we were all super proud of this particular drawing right there, right? It's super, super basic, right? This drawing right here, right? Let me see if I can actually get it, right? So yeah, sun in the corner, clouds, birds, and you just standing on the grass. It's always the sun in the corner. It's always the sun in the corner, right? Y'all remember this drawing? I'm about to unlock some memories for y'all. Y'all remember this drawing? Some of y'all have kids that give you guys this drawing, right? We will look at something like this, something that's simple, something that is in many ways childlike, right? And something that can definitely evolve too. And we will look at this and we will overcomplicate this in the moment, right? I think there's something to be said about taking something like this, taking this as the starting point and the foundation and building off of it. But we have to understand that we have to first of all recognize where we are currently and appreciate where we are currently and stop trying to jump 5, 10, 12, 20 levels in a day. Today is going to be a reminder of that. This can be your starting point. And then in 10 years, or it doesn't have to be that long, but in a few years or whatever like that, this can be something that is just out of this world. You know what I mean? But we have a tendency to do that. Well, we will take something that is simple and beautiful right now, and because it doesn't look like something that we feel like will go in a museum, or because it doesn't look like it's something that will just get millions upon millions of views online, we'll take it and we will try and make it something that it's not. It's the seed for something that can grow into that. But you can't just yell and tell the seeds all right, become a tree. All right, become a tree right now. All right, grow up, but become a tree. Why aren't you becoming a tree? Maybe I'll take the seed out and put it over here instead. Maybe that'll work. Oh, it's still not working. Oh, let me take the seed out of that soil and put it over here. And you're like, the seed's not even having a chance to like root and get down in there and get the moisture. Sometimes some of you guys are transplanting things so fast, you're not giving it time to just be and to just sit and to be still, right? Today is going to be a great opportunity in between all of these intense energies that are building up. Today is a great opportunity for stillness. It's going to be a great opportunity to just listen and to really just any preconceived notions on how we believe this thing is supposed to go, to just not listen to those. We don't have a lot of air energy. It's fire, water, and earth. Right? These are the three starter Pokemon: water, fire, and grass type. Right? There's no air type. Okay? There's no Pikachu. Right? there's no Pikachu today. I know you want to be Ash Ketchum and go on these crazy adventures and have like the Pikachu because like you feel like you woke up late, whatever like that, and all the other starter Pokemon were taken. There's no Pikachu here. Sorry to say. I'm sorry to say. You got three choice. You got those three, right? Right? I'm not saying to like really like pick one element today and go off of it because we have all elements, right? Even like whatever sign you are. If like you happen to be an air sign, maybe you do pick Pikachu, right? But like we have the energies of all 12, right? That's the thing about this. So today, like I said, I think it's going to be a very positive day. I think it's going to be a great opportunity to really just feel where we are right now, value where we are, and find the beauty and find the inspiration in where we are right now. Trying to like kind of logic our way out of a situation, kind of logic our way into a solution today isn't really going to really do us a lot of favors because there's not really a lot of support there, right? And let's just take a look at the planets that rule air signs. Okay, Mercury that rules Gemini. Well, it's in Cancer. Yeah, so our thoughts are going to be tied to our emotions right now. They just are. All right, Venus, which rules Libra, right? Okay, well, it's in Leo and it's really slow, right? It's going to move 4 degrees in 15 days. It's not moving very fast. No, Venus is like trying to like catch up to Mars, and it's not going to, which is going to make Venus feel like she's not beautiful, which isn't true, but it's going to make Venus feel like she's not beautiful enough for Mars, and Mars is just going to keep going. He's just on his shit, right? He's just going to go, right? And Venus is going to be left in the dust and be like, what am I? Like, am I not beautiful enough? Am I not good enough? You know, what's going on here, right? And then you have Aquarius, ruler of Aquarius, Uranus, and Taurus, right? That's a wild card energy in and of itself. We don't know what's going to happen with that, being that it's in Taurus. Of course, the last time the Uranus was here, you know, Uranus and Taurus, especially at the last degrees, it's not necessarily the greatest placement for like country alliances and stuff, because this is when country alliances break down and rearrange themselves, right? So that's the air that you have going on right now. I would say probably the strongest of these is probably, I would say it's probably Uranus. I mean, if you look at like the actual like if you look at like the actual scores, yeah, I mean, I would say that, it says like, Uranus, it doesn't really give it a score. That's -5. That's +3. I would say, I mean, this is saying that Venus is actually out. It's actually pretty strong as far as like the score and its energy, but considering the fact that it's slowing down and it's going to retrograde into space, and I know what Venus is doing, trying to reach out for Mars, and she's not going to she's not going to like, they're not going to embrace. She's kind of sad because I think she's starting the reality is starting to set in that she's not going to catch up, right? Mercury was moving really fast, and it's heading towards, like I said, this opposition with Pluto. So I think it's really going to come down to the Uranus energy. It's really going to come down to that, you know? So do you believe in this radical quality of your value? 2 + 1 is 3. 3 is the number of Jupiter and Sagittarius. Do you believe in this radical quality of your value? Do you believe? It's like, oh, this plant's not going to grow there. Why would it grow there? Some of you guys are wanting to have been planted in very, very fertile soil. Some of you guys are planted in rocky soil. Some of you guys were planted in fertile soil, and then concrete was put over the top of you, and you have to grow through concrete. Some of you guys are planted in soil like on the side of a freaking volcano. Some of you guys are planted in soil at the bottom of the ocean. Not everyone can be in this nice manicured flower bed. We have to embrace and accept where we are right now. And this isn't about getting stuck on where we are, but I think this is about having gratitude for all of the things that we have in our life and where we currently are. That's what this is about. And once we realize that once we have gratitude for this, and appreciate this at the same time, but moving forward, that's the whole balance thing here. It's like, how can we move forward? How can we want more for ourselves? How can we desire more, right? How can we manifest more at the same time while being grateful for what we have? Because they almost seem a little diametrically opposed, right? Wanting more, but also appreciating what we have. You know what I mean? That's the balance that we are all trying to figure out. Some people have figured it out, but that's the balance that we go through every single day, that we try and figure out, really. So I think today, like I said, very positive day overall. But when it comes to these days, we have a tendency to overcomplicate things. Just know that if you get to those moments where, it's not going to go exactly according to plan, that you can take that energy and transmute that and turn it into something positive. So let's go ahead and grab the cards for today. Let's go ahead and grab the cards. I'm going to switch decks soon. Probably, this is Friday, and we get the weekend one. So yeah, I'm probably going to switch decks for next week. So I use this because I used this deck for like 2 straight weeks. Give some of the other decks a chance to express, show what they are wanting us to know. But let's continue to see what we got going on today. Let's give this thing a good shuffle. So, all right. So the cards for today. What do we got going on? It's funny too, when I was shuffling this deck, I swear this card actually popped out, and then I shuffled it back in and it came out again. So first we have the 9 of Pentacles, right? We have the 6 of Wands in reverse. Pretty sure we got this card earlier this week too. And we also got the 4 of Swords as well. So 9 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, 4 of Swords. Yeah, I think, like I said, this is a moment where it's like we are continuing to work on our craft. She's playing this piano in, the forest, right? We are continuing to work on our craft, right? Now, the 6 of Wands is this energy where we are definitely wanting to celebrate and have some sort of victory today, right? But we kind of felt a little blocked. Why? Well, we got this 4 of Swords energy. This is the time, like I said, to kind of rest, to kind of have some sense of silence, to kind of go within, and to kind of just listen to what the universe is wanting us to know. First of all, it's wanting us to know that we are absolutely abundant, but we're still working on our craft. We're still perfecting it. Even people who are at the top of their game still have to practice. There's not this thing where, like, once you reach a goal that the practice stops. that you stop working on your craft because you've made it and stuff like that, right? You don't have to work on it anymore. If you don't continue to work on it, someone else is going to come up and take your spot. You know what I mean? So I think that's why the Six of Wands in reverse is like, and at least when it comes, I'm thinking like mainly like sports, right? Is that someone else is going to come up and take your spot, and someone's going to come up and take your spot regardless, because we're all going to old school, as my dad would say, right? We're all going to old school. You know, someone eventually will take your spot, but do you value yourself enough while you were there and appreciate it to continue to work on your craft, and also to just heed the messages that are coming through from the universe, to try to take time to take a chill pill at the same time. You know, we don't have to just totally push the envelope. We don't have to be like, I gotta do this. I gotta do this thing right now. I got like, we just chill. You're doing your thing. You're doing the damn thing, right? Relax, chill. It's all good. Got a lot of positive energies today, and just in general, I know things could seem pretty like up in the air, pretty crazy and chaotic in the world right now, but this is definitely a time to just recognize where we currently are, to appreciate where we are, and to continue putting one step in front of the other. Mm-hmm. 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 Let's see. What is the oracle card for today? There's like several cards just like flew out. I'm gonna give it another shuffle. All right, let's see what we got here for our oracle card. You see, we got the card of view from above. Get the big picture. Yeah, this is something, like I said, like this is not something that we can like logic our way out of. This is not something that we can really think our way out of. We had to kind of pure up and get the big picture. And it's going to require us to maybe overcome our fear of heights. I'm trying to get, oh, there you go. It's a little bit better that way. Yeah. This may require us to kind of overcome our fear of heights, get to the hot air balloon, get the big picture, kind of come out of our small little perspective and how we see things, and kind of just peer out and see that, wow, these things are actually working out in my favor. I didn't know that that was working out in my favor there, and that was working out in my favor. I didn't know that that thing was going well. Wow, this actually doesn't look as bad as I thought it did. Well, yeah, but since we get tunnel vision. We get tunnel vision, and we don't see all of the beautiful blessings that are all around us. We get this tunnel vision, and we focus on this one thing that may be going wrong. And we're trying to poke holes in it when really that one thing is part of a larger mosaic. And then when we look at it, it's like, oh, wait, that was just some of the details. It wasn't actually a bad thing. That was just some of the interesting details. And it looked kind of messy, but it's actually not as crazy as I thought it was. Positive day. Just try not to get into your head too much. And if you do get into your head, take some deep breaths, go outside, touch a tree, touch grass. Shoot, write out your feelings today. Listen, trying to think of other things that you can do. When it comes to the fire energy, do something. Do some jumping jacks. Just like kind of like quiet the mind today. Do some push-ups, like something like that. Try and take yourself out of that perspective and see the big picture and see that you are where you are meant to be right now. And especially if you're watching this, you are already working towards something and you're building, right? So just remember, take it one step at a time. You don't have to build the entire damn thing today. You just have to take it one step at a time, appreciate where you are, celebrate the small victories. But also realize that it's not as bad as you think it is. That's going to do it for your astrology forecast today. I hope that you all enjoyed it. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I definitely appreciate it. And be sure to hit the bell so you can receive all the notifications for whenever I go live and make my daily content. And yeah, y'all take care. Have a wonderful, fantastic Friday. And I will see y'all on the weekend astrology forecast. Peace out. Take care. Sayonara.